Being an entrepreneur can have lots of challenges. There's the obvious external challenges of can you scale? Can you maintain profitability? HR things, payroll things, liability things, client relationships, the stress of lead generation and growth. I think most entrepreneurs would agree that the biggest challenge is internal. Do you have imposter syndrome? Do you have self-doubts? Where I've found a lot of value is finding a tribe, and that tribe may be different for everybody. It may be your family. For me, there's a factor of entrepreneurship, which is loneliness. The loneliness is not literal. You could be surrounded by team members and be in constant engagement with other people. If you're the entrepreneur or you're steering the ship, the greater your responsibilities, the higher probability you'll experience a factor of loneliness. And there was a really interesting moment in a mastermind that I'm in one of these high-profile masterminds I'm in. Everybody in there makes, at least $1 million. These are people that have accomplished great things, have had huge impacts. What's fascinating about these groups of, if you're on the outside looking in, you would think that everybody had these perfect lives and great accomplishments and financial stability, which is true, minus the perfect lives part. Because when you get behind the scenes with fellow entrepreneurs, whether you're just starting, have had moderate accomplishments, or you've conquered the world, the common denominator is personal life. And I remember one time I had my wife with me and I said, hey, come, we're having a breakout session. We were at this big conference and this little private mastermind had their own moment where we kind of stepped aside. And there's 5,000 people at this event and there was 20 of us that were in this little mastermind. And so we went over to somebody's room and my wife said, oh, I don't want to go because I don't have anything to contribute. I'm not a business person. I'm not an entrepreneur. And I said, no, come with me because just watch, you'll see. And we get in there. In the beginning, we're all talking about what's new and what's exciting. And there was all these great stories of accomplishments, but then reality starts to set in. There was a consistent theme of, hey, I just increased revenue by 200%, but my marriage is falling apart. I just made $1 million, but barely after I almost went bankrupt and I had to risk mortgaging my house to save it. Like what you're watching so far, do me a favor and like and subscribe. I don't know which content brings you value unless you tell me. So liking and subscribing will help me know to make more of these videos, solve more of your problems, answer more questions, and help take you to the next level. Do that now, like, subscribe, back to the video. And so it's really fascinating that no matter what level of entrepreneurship you're in, no matter what level of accomplishments you're at, you cannot escape life. And so I think your safety net that you want to consider as you increase exposure to loneliness, as you increase your successes, is find your tribe. There's different levels of these tribes. As you're starting out entrepreneurship, it could be a local networking group that understands your problems and can relate to you and hear you and talk back to you about starting a business is hard. But starting a business has a different problem than an established business. And with an established business, you won't get a lot of value in those starter networks. So then you go to this different level of networking. And then in that networking, it might be, I'm in the feast and famine part of business and lead generation is hard. And I have all these logistics problems and I have these scaling problems and quality control problems. Like those are things that the people before you wouldn't be familiar with because they haven't started creating processes and they hadn't run into those scaling problems yet. But then same thing, the level above that, when you become more accomplished, like you iron those out, you get your processes documented, you get things standardized, scalability becomes less of a problem. Then that's where the personal aspect kicks in even more because it's like when you start in entrepreneurship, the first type of support you need is tactical. After tactics, the next part of support you need is relatability. Like you want to have people that understand the struggles you're going through. But then once you solve all those business problems, kind of the third tier that you need is a sense of purpose. Why are you doing all these things? You accomplish great things. You have greater things in your wish list that you want to accomplish, but why? And so then you start to want to be around other people that are in a similar position in their life where they too are questioning what is their legacy? What type of impact they want to leave on the world? So find your tribe. Don't be scared to understand that tribe will change over time. We did it. We're learning something together. But here's the thing. I don't know what videos help you unless you tell me by liking and subscribing. So help me help you by liking and subscribing so I know what videos make an impact and help bring you to the next level.